welcome to Forest. I am Marcus Preauditions, the Warden, that's the head of Forest School. Now obviously we would prefer you to visit us in person, most of all to meet the Forest pupils and to pick up on the distinct buzz and character of this place. But of course that's not possible with the current restrictions, so we've lined up a series of short videos on different aspects of the school, which I hope you will take time to explore. I'm sure you parents will be looking at lots of different schools for your children, so I want to spend the next couple of minutes introducing you to the flavour of Forest School, because although there are lots of good schools around, there's certainly only one Forest. It's a big decision you'll be making. In some ways it's a bit like buying a house. You can look at 6 different houses and they all have doors and windows, but then you walk into one and you think, this feels like home, I could live here. And of course the school you choose for your child does need to become a second home for them. We pride ourselves on being an all-through school for children from 4 to 18. So many of our pupils are with us for 14 years, but 11 plus is a big entry point for the senior part of the school. What do you need to know from the outset? Most of all, Forest has a reputation as a friendly, welcoming school. It's an exciting school and a very popular one for the distinct provision we offer. The way that we are really interested in young people's personal development and really interested in what they can achieve inside the classroom and outside the classroom. The Forest community is a phenomenally busy one, an engaging one. We work on the basis that if pupils are liked and valued as individuals, they'll work better and develop into the sort of young people who, when they finally leave and our job is done, will be attractive to universities and employers. Some of our older pupils do work experience, and when they finish, often an employer will report back saying, we really enjoyed having X, they were good value, there was something about them. And it's that something about them that we're trying to develop in this big, busy, ambitious school. That said, we are an academic school, up to 300 minutes a day spent in the classroom. So in terms of academic work, we also believe every child at Forest is capable of excellence at every age. But make no mistake, the pupils here achieve excellent exam results. 77% of GCSE grades, A double star, A star, or A. And in recent years, average 80% of our A-level grades are A star to B, the grades you need to get into top universities. So we have pupils going off to Oxford and Cambridge and the top Russell Group universities each year. We also have pupils going off to American universities, Yale, UCLA, MIT in recent years. But we also have pupils going off to Sandhurst, Musical Conservatoire, dance academies, medical and veterinary school. The actor who played Hamlet recently at the Royal Shakespeare Company was a 24-year-old Forest boy. It doesn't matter what you do, it matters you do it as well as you can, and hopefully success will find you. Good morning and welcome to Forest School. This is our remote open day and we're delighted to have you with us and look forward to the day when you can actually come and meet us in person. But in the meantime, we're going to have a little chat here, and I've got Ayana and Will, who are our school captains this year, and we're going to try and give you a little flavour of what it is that makes Forest tick and why it's an exciting school to be at. And both Will and Ayana have been here for a number of years and are well placed to give some insights into life at Forest School. So Ayana, maybe I can start with you. Mm-hmm. You've been here for 6 years now, and you're in year 13. We talk about a sort of journey through the Forest as being your time at school. Can you give us an idea of in what ways the school has given you opportunities to grow and develop?
Well, that's a very good question. I mean, I can spend quite a long time answering this, but I guess to keep it somewhat short, I remember in year 7, when we started, you know, we had the bonding trip, and I think that in itself, from the beginning, just being able to socialise with people and starting to form friendships then was a really great opportunity that the school gave us to form bonds with people not only in our class, but with just in the whole year. And then I think from that as well, the co-curriculars that, you know, the school has to offer, especially when you're joining the school, you want to really seize every opportunity that they give you.
Well, you've been here even longer than Ayana, haven't you?
Yeah.
You were in the prep school. Do you have a sense of sort of what makes Forest different as a school, perhaps from other schools that maybe your friends go to?
I think the thing I really like about Forest is the house system, and I think that's my favourite aspect for a few reasons. I think part of that is you have this fantastic network of older individuals and also teachers and tutors that kind of create this family environment. But on top of that, you kind of touched on the co-curricular aspect. Those opportunities to engage in music, drama, art, and even programming competitions, House MasterChef. You can really engage with people from different years and build a bit of a rapport with them, and you can use that in the future.
Do you think you're better learners now than you were in year 7?
I remember in year 7, you know, I've always loved learning, and so I remember in year 7 I'd always want to read a bit more. I'd love asking questions to the teachers, but I feel like in the classroom especially I've definitely become more confident. You know, I'm not afraid to ask questions now, and I feel like especially with Forest you're given that chance to really learn on your own. There's a lot of guidance and a lot of help from teachers, of course, but you're given this independence from an early age to kind of just explore what your interests are and what you like to do. And the fact that you can not only thrive like in the classroom but also outside of it will also make you a stronger student, I feel.
So, very busy school here. Do you get opportunities to work and meet with students from other schools? Have you any examples of you working with students from other schools?
Yeah, well, I think my favourite experience was actually last year. I did a history symposium.
Can you tell us a bit about that?
So that was actually hosted where we're sitting now, and we did, I think there are 3 or 4 Forest students, I think 3 Forest students and probably about 6 from LSE, and we presented on characters or events that were particularly interesting to us in history.
And so 15 years from now you're going to be doing what?
That's a good question. Well, I hope to be an inspiring female chemist.
And you two are very successful pupils. In your time here, can you think back to something that you perhaps tried that didn't go as well as you hoped it might?
Something comes to mind very quickly for me. I did a drama competition last year. I wrote a play, and it was one of the most fun experiences I think I've had. Didn't quite get the result we wanted, coming last, but just the whole process of it, I wouldn't have thought going into it that coming last, so I'd kind of be a bit down, but actually I just loved the experience and just working with different people, from different years, and really getting to understand how people work in a proper environment when it's on you to coordinate everything and for them to turn up. And so, yeah, I wouldn't sacrifice that for anything. And I think I hopefully.
And who were these hard judges that gave you a hard time?
Well, I think one of them's sitting across from me right now.
Oh dear, let's move
on. No
on.
hard feelings.
I feel like whenever you're starting a new place, you feel a bit intimidated in some sense. You're not sure who you're going to be friends with, and because of that, I feel like sometimes you might want to be someone you're not. And I think my biggest piece of advice is to just be yourself, because that's honestly enough. And you will always find someone who just wants to be around you for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'd all agree that there's no one type of pupil at Forest.
No. I think that, well, there are a lot of benefits to it, just because the fact that you've got so many students in this one place, if whatever co-curricular that you do, you can just get to know so many people, not just in your year, but from the years above. And I think that's just good networking as well. It's a good practice for that in like outside the gates when you're older, just starting now. And I think the benefit of that as well is that you get a really good mix of students. There's not one student that you'll find that there are several like the same throughout school. They're all very different. They've all got different attributes, different things to offer. And it makes you really proud to come to the school, I feel. I
think something which is great is the wide catchment area, which actually I think is really unique about Forest compared to some of the other schools. And it's just amazing because you get all these different cultures and all these people with different backgrounds and places to commute from. You just get a really nice melting pot of people to speak to with different experiences.
And when you're at Forest, who are the key sort of staff who are there to support you? Who actually looks after you at Forest?
Well, you've got you got your tutors,
Yeah.
house masters, mistresses, or heads of section.
There are so many.
Well.
There are so many even just your subject teachers you can chat to if you feel comfortable.
More so in sixth form as well.
Yeah.
You really get to know them as people, and they genuinely want you to do well.
And Will, where would you be on a typical Wednesday afternoon?
Typical Wednesday. You'd either find me on the football pitch, or actually recently last year, it's a great thing. So I played football for a very long time, but I thought I might give weightlifting a bit of a try. Yeah, the great thing about football, you spoke about your CCF trips. You get to go to so many different types of schools around the area, and some of the away games, aside from the London traffic, I think they are really, really enjoyable.
For me, I do CCF, and CCF is honestly, it's been one of my highlights of being at Forest, and I feel that with the CCF, you can you gain so much from it. You gain, you can develop your discipline. You become a lot more confident. You're able to learn how to delegate, which is such an important thing, not just in school but in the workplace when that time comes.
I hope that's given you a flavour of Forest in 2020-21, and as we said at the beginning, we very much look forward to seeing you here in person and to meet more of us. And in the meantime, thank you for listening and thank you for watching, and goodbye from Ayana and Will and myself. Thank you.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Forest, albeit virtually. We are delighted to have you here with us this morning, and I'm especially delighted to have a group of Year 8 pupils with me this morning who are here to answer your questions on what life at Forest really is like. My name is Louise Leshmere-Smith. I'm head of lower school here at Forest, and that means that I have the best job in the entire school because I'm responsible for looking after pupils in Year 7 and Year 8. So I'm going to introduce our dream team of pupils here this morning. So we have Sachin, we have Gabriella. Guys, you feel free to give a wave if you like. We have Luca. We've got Amber there at the back, and Devon and Avani. So right now I'd be asking you to give them all a huge virtual round of applause. Obviously we can't do that, but I know that you are here with us in spirit, kind of cheering us on. So without further ado, we're going to get started on some questions. I hope that the questions that I have thought to ask do you justice. But of course, if you do have any questions that you would like us to find out that we don't cover in the panel this morning, then do as ever get in touch with us and we'd be delighted to answer them for you. So guys, I'm going to come to you first of all, and I'm going to start off with what has been your favourite thing about Forest so far on your Forest journey and why? And I'm going to start with Sachin.
I would say for me it would be the sport.
Okay, how so?
Because I feel that the coaches and the staff at the sport department have really helped me in all aspects of different kinds of sport and helped me feel more active at Forest.
Brilliant. And Sachin, what sports have you been involved in since you started here?
I've been involved in football and hockey in the first 2 terms.
Yeah.
I didn't quite get a chance to do cricket as we were off, but I hope to do that in this year.
What's been your favourite thing on your Forest journey so far and why?
So for me, I'd definitely say the houses, because they're just, no matter who your tutor is, no matter who your head of house is, they're just always so supportive of you and they really have like your best interest at heart.
And Devon, how about yourself? What's been your favourite thing at Forest so far?
Well, my favourite thing at Forest is definitely house music.
Awesome. Tell us more.
Well, house music is a great way for the years to interact with each other, and you all get together and you perform a great song with a live audience, and it's just a great night to be a part of.
Fantastic, and I can absolutely back you up on that. It's like being at a rock concert. It's amazing. As a proud member of Jonian's house, how did Jonian's fare last year, Devon?
Well, we did very well actually. We were robbed on the night though.
Okay.
Definitely robbed, but no matter what house you're in, you always have a great time.
Tell me, describe your best friend at Forest. What 3 qualities do they have that really make them your best friend?
Well, my best friend, whenever I do something, my best friend, he's always good at what I do too. That's it. I like playing sport a lot, just football and cricket, but he's always there with me, which is good. And we always like to collab together. We talk about the tactics, So he's there for me all the time.
Yeah.
He's also very cheerful.
Yeah.
Like whenever we see each other, we all have a good laugh. We have a nice time.
How did the school help you to develop those skills that you need in order to be able to kind of, you know, to fly academically like you have to?
Well, first of all, when we joined, we had like buddies. So pupils in year 8 joined with pupils in year 7, and they kind of gave us some like tips to how to make work easier. And one of those tips were to do the work as it comes and not put it off, and that helped a lot because it just made things a lot easier.
It's actually much easier than you think making friends. And like after a few days, you've got kind of, you know who your friends are.
I mean, again, what did the school do to help you to build those new friendships?
So at the start, like she mentioned, there's so you have buddies, but also clubs that you do with your house helps you get to know other people in your house that you probably wouldn't have known before. But then general activities like the bonding trip are really useful for that kind of thing.
I think it'd probably be the general community, which I was really excited for because I've heard things that it's, you know, a really nice school, and it definitely met my expectations. Everyone was really nice and welcoming from other years, and they sometimes, if I got lost, they would just be like, oh, can I help you find your way? So it was very nice.
What's been your most memorable moment at Forest so far, and why?
I would say that my most memorable moment was when I was in my class, and probably when just the teachers are just having maybe just a little kind of activity.
Fun? In lessons?
Just maybe like a fun activity helping us learn about different topics.
Yeah.
And I feel that it kind of engages the whole class.
Yeah.
And kind of makes us all feel like we're having fun, but also learning a lot of new facts and just a lot of new stuff that we would never learn just in normal lessons.
So I think my memorable moment is when I first walked into school, and then at the end of the day we had games, and they said we're going to the park, and I already knew about the field because obviously I would have seen it, and then we walked past the field and went somewhere else, and then I had no idea where we were going, and then we kind of open out to this massive field, and they're like, the sheer size of it, I had no idea, like, since when was that here?
What are your favourite lessons and why? Sachin?
I think my favourite lesson would probably be English.
Okay.
Because I feel that I really like when we did I know some people don't really like doing essays, but I kind of really enjoyed it.
Great.
I kind of really enjoyed planning it out and then doing it, and then having our teacher give us feedback about how we've done.
Yeah.
And I also, linking with that, I kind of feel that I liked some of the projects that we did on advertisement, and I just found it was so fun to make, and I really learned a lot about how to do different things.
What advice would you give a year 7 starting at Forest? What would be your top tips? Avani?
The same advice my year 8 buddy gave to me, which is work hard, make lots of friends, and don't let the work kind of get on top of you, like stay on top of the work, and just have fun, because it's really fun here.
Yeah.
So definitely take advantage of all the things that they offer here.
Okay.
So get involved, even if you don't think you're good at it, take part in the sport, give it a go, take part in the drama, take part in house music.
Yeah.
It's just fun, even if you're not good at it, you can just enjoy it.
And what have you taken part in?
So I did house music, which every year 7 and 8 has to do, and I also did Barnum, which is really fun.
And tell us a bit more about Barnum.
So Barnum was the second term's play of this year.
Okay.
And anyone can take part. Just go through an audition and they'll give you something, everyone can do ensemble, and it's just really fun.
And what did you get out of that experience? Like, what was its impact on you?
So its impact on me, definitely afterwards I was a lot more confident.
Yeah.
I made some friends on the other years. Because I didn't really talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And I was actually a lot shyer before I did it,
Yeah.
because I wasn't really confident enough to talk to other people. And it just really helps you get outside your box.
We've talked a lot about all the clubs and activities and events that you can get involved in. Luca?
Before anyone else can say it, I really like house music because it's the best.
It is the best.
Well, linked to house events in general. I mean, every turn you have a house event, like house swimming, house football, house chess. You know,
House MasterChef.
House MasterChef.
Yeah.
That was great.
I prefer house events because I'm kind of with my friends and
Yes.
we're all doing it together as a one big team. Because I feel like that's what the house system is. It's a big team of us.
Yeah. So what did the school do? Think back. What did the school do to help you really settle in and feel at home here? Gabriella?
So if you're new, you pretty much have a whole day before everyone else comes back just to settle in, and the teachers will explain everything that's going to happen. And in your first couple of days, you don't have a full-on timetable. They kind of limit it down to either your bare subjects or just getting to know your teachers. So you're comfortable around them and you're comfortable around your class before getting into mainstream.
I think that brings our session to a close for today. I'm sure you'll agree with me, everyone at home or wherever you may be indeed watching this, that our pupils have been absolutely fantastic today, and I know that you'd be joining me in a virtual round of applause to them all because they've been absolutely superb.
Favourite bit about Forest? I guess the opportunities. There's so much to do here.
I think for me, it's the community. I feel like the support network is so kind of tightly knit. It's really diverse as well, and it's very accepting.
Forest is like a safe community for me to express myself, prepare myself to be a better person and learn from other people and learn from my own mistakes as well without feeling embarrassed or pressured.
Hello, I'm Deborah Cleveland-Hurley, the Registrar, and myself and the admissions team are here to ensure you have a positive and pain-free admissions process. We are delighted you are considering Forest for your child and understand each school you are applying to will have different dates, different criteria, and will use different terminology. So our aim is to ensure you have the right resources at your fingertips to help you through your 11+ Forest journey. Here is a list of key dates, and these are all available to view on the Forest website. You will note the interview days now being held on the 28th of November, as we wish to interview all candidates who register, as we are very much aware that many pupils will have had a very limited remote provision of learning for several months due to COVID-19. In any given year, the Forest Year 7 cohort is split roughly 50-50 between pupils from maintained and prep schools, and we anticipate that this adjustment to our admissions process will help us ensure that 2021 entry will be no exception. May I encourage all parents to register as promptly as possible to ensure you get an interview slot on the 28th. Deadline for registration is officially midday on the 27th of November, Yes, the day before, so sooner would be much appreciated. Please be aware there will not be a selection process following the interviews. All candidates will take the entrance exam on the 11th of January 2021. Let me take you through scholarships, bursaries and assisted places at Forest. Scholarships. Academic, music and sports scholarships are offered at 11+. They are awarded purely on merit and are not means tested. Scholarships are awarded in percentage increments up to 25% of full fees. 25% is the maximum scholarship any one pupil can be awarded, and it can be a combination of scholarships, i.e. a 20% academic award and a 5% music. Don't worry if you're a parent of an existing pupil with a scholarship at a higher percentage, this will not be affected. The 25% gap will only apply to pupils joining us in September 2021. Over the next 2 years, non-means tested scholarships will be subject to an ongoing review. The ultimate goal is to reduce the number of non-means tested fee subsidies and to move to a scheme where scholarships across the school would be offered on an honorary basis, an approach shared by other leading London independent day schools in response to the affordability gap that can prevent able children benefiting from an independent school education. These ongoing changes will allow more funds to be available for means-tested fee remissions. Bursaries. Bursaries are means-tested, and we ask parents to refer to the income bands on the school website to determine eligibility. Bursaries can only be awarded in conjunction with a scholarship and are awarded to eligible candidates who would otherwise not be able to afford the remaining school fees. The combination of a scholarship and additional bursary money can equate up to 100% fee remission, a free place. Assisted places. Last year we introduced a new type of means-tested bursary called an assisted place, which has enabled 4 pupils to join Forest in Year 7 on fully funded places. We wish to ensure that full fee remission is targeted to those families in the greatest financial need and to pupils who pass the entrance exam. An assisted place will be awarded to qualifying applicants according to need, and households with an income of £25,000 or below are more likely to be considered. The lowering of scholarship awards to 25% has enabled us to double the number of assisted places we can offer for September 21 entry to 8. Please visit our website and complete Form 1 to determine your eligibility. Please use the link to the 11+ admissions page on the Forest website, as it contains a lot of additional information such as past exam papers, frequently asked questions for those considering applying for music or sports scholarships, and Form 1 for those interested in an 11+ assisted place. You will also find the registration form here. I hope you found this information useful. If you have any questions regarding registration or any part of the admissions process, please email or call us. We would love to hear from you.
Hello, my name is Ben Adams and I'm the Director of Sport here at Forest School. In the next 10 minutes I'm going to be talking you through the process in which you can apply for a sports scholarship here at Forest and how you'll be assessed and what you can expect on the day. So first up, how do I register to be assessed? When you click the registration form through the admissions department, there is a box that says you would like to be considered for a sports scholarship. Click that box and the admissions office will then forward a list of people who have registered to become a sports scholar, and I will be in contact with you later this term to inform you how and when the assessment will take place. Who is assessed? We will assess everybody who clicks the box to be assessed for the sports scholarship. The reason for this is that although we do stipulate that you should be of a certain ability, normally county or regional level or above, we're fully aware that different pathways for different sports mean some pupils have access to those sort of pathways and some pupils do not. What does the assessment involve? On the day you are called for your sports scholarship assessment, you'll be met at the White Gates by a P member of staff and you'll be taken to the sports hall. There you will undergo 4 sessions throughout the day. The first session is a series of fitness testing. The second and third session you will choose on your application form. For the boys, that will be 2 from football, hockey, swimming and cricket, and for the girls it will be 2 from football, hockey, netball and cricket. We do not assess in athletics, despite it being one of our major sports, because this takes place in December when we do not have the track and the weather is poor, but we do use the fitness testing data in order to assess your athletics capabilities. We will also have any credentials that you have, any achievements through your sporting CV that you submit. The fourth session of the day, you will not know what that is until you arrive. So it might be that we get the boys to do some netball, we get the girls to do some basketball. We just want to see your child in a different environment to see how they behave and how they adapt. What if my child excels in a sport that you do not assess? Then they should still apply for the sports scholarship, and we will assess them still in 2 of the 4 major sports at Forest. However, we will know if your child is an outstanding cross-country runner or an outstanding rugby player or an outstanding tennis player or gymnast. We will have that on your application form. So that will be taken into consideration, but obviously we are looking for pupils who are going to represent the school at one of our major sports. The assessment takes place on Thursday the 10th of December and it will take place all day. You will arrive around about 9 a.m. and you'll be ready for collection at about 4:30 p.m. I'm not sure whether my son or daughter is good enough. They've never played county level. As mentioned previously, if you're not sure but you feel that your son or your daughter does have the potential to be a sports scholar at Forest School, then you should apply. Like I say, we are fully aware that pupils have opportunities that come differently. Pathways for different sports are very different. It's much easier to play county football or county netball than it is to play county cricket. So you should still apply and you will be assessed based on your performance on the day. How many scholarships are there? There's not a set amount of scholarships. There is a set amount of money aside. The number of people that are awarded an award depends wholly on the quality and the calibre of the scholars on the day. So it may be that we only award 4 scholarships. It might be that we award 12 scholarships. It all depends upon the number and the calibre of the pupils taking place. What is required as a sports scholar? Should you be successful in being awarded a sports scholarship here at Forest, then you will be expected to partake in the major sports each term. Now obviously one of those sports is likely to be one of your strengths, but as a sports scholar, even if your strength is not hockey or cricket or football or netball, then we would still expect you to partake in the term, even if it's in a B team or a C team, and model the behaviour of a school scholar. On top of that, you will be expected to attend 1 or 2 strength and conditioning sessions each week. These are designed to not only develop your child's athletic capabilities, but also to give you the robustness to cope with the volume of training that requires of you if you're playing school sport or county sport or academy level sport on top of that. When will we find out if we have been successful? In February half term, you will receive a letter from the admissions office which will tell you whether or not you've been successful in awarding a place at Forest School. That same letter will tell you whether you have been successful in being given a sports scholarship at Forest School. That's all. If you require any further information, you're welcome to contact me here at Forest. My email address is bda@forest.org.uk and I'll gladly answer any of your questions.
Welcome to Music at Forest. My name is Ian McGregor and I'm the Director of Music. In this presentation, I aim to cover the most important information about music in and out of the classroom. And that's quite a large topic, so thank you very much for your attention, and here we go.
There will be a lot of information about scholarships and awards, but before that, I must stress that at Forest, the musical opportunities are for all the pupils. We value, support, and promote the arts. In and out of the classroom, there are wonderful opportunities for musical creativity and development, and we encourage all our pupils to think and act like musicians, to have a go and get involved musically at Forest. Our music curriculum directly develops musicianship and a deeper understanding of how and why music is the way it is, how it is crafted, whatever the style or genre, and why it moves us. Music is a vital and enriching part of our humanity, and we encourage all our pupils to sing, to take up instruments, and to live their lives with an informed, inquisitive, and open-minded approach to all music. Therefore, music is for everyone at Forest, just as it is for everyone in the world. In the classroom, Year 7 and Year 8 pupils have 1 lesson of music per week. The spiralled curriculum explores music through 5 overarching concepts: vocal skills and musicianship, composition, storytelling, improvisation, and world music. We use pedagogical ideas from Kadai musicianship, to develop inner audiation, sense of pitch and rhythm via singing and rhythm games. Pupils reflect on what music is, how sounds can be structured, and how this might be written down and performed through a variety of units on such topics as graphic scores, gestures and motifs, pop music composition, musical theatre, jazz, the blues, Afro-Cuban music, and orchestral music. Musicianship means developing those musical skills and abilities that allows one to understand and control musical elements such as timbre, pitch, rhythm and dynamics, and gradually gain mastery over them. This is what fosters creativity and expression via the craft of music. Pupils will use their own instruments and our collection of classroom percussion, djembes, electronic keyboards, guitars, and of course their own voices for practical music making, performance and composition. In Year 9, music is optional, and the course is much more involved with 2 lessons per week. The pupils extend their skills and knowledge and prepare for the challenges of GCSE and beyond. We use the Edexcel exam board for GCSE and AQA for A-level. For those pupils who decide they want to study music at university or conservatoire, Forest is a school that has a proven record of helping them succeed. Year after year, Forest pupils have gone on to study music at top conservatoires and universities. To really be a musician, you need to sing and/or play an instrument. In addition to studying in the classroom, Forest has a team of 38 visiting music staff who deliver the highest quality instrumental and vocal tuition on a huge variety of instruments and composition. The value of the opportunity to learn to sing and to play an instrument and to then sing in a choir or play in a band or an orchestra cannot be overstated. We have a huge array of bands, orchestras and choirs with regular concerts, musicals, recitals, competitions and tours. Additionally, the house music competition is a truly massive and spectacular event, entirely driven by the pupils and culminating in 2 huge concerts, and last year a mega final at Hackney Empire. There is always something musical to be involved with. So how can I sign my child up for music lessons? It's very easy. You just need to get in touch with the music administrator, Ms. Samantha Roach, using the email address music@forest.org.uk. Lessons are either 20 minutes or 40 minutes in length, and they're rotated throughout the school day. But this is dependent on how often the visiting music teacher is in school. We tried to make the rotation as fair as possible. Year 11 pupils and Year 13 pupils cannot miss academic lessons, so we put their music lessons before school or at lunchtime or after school, and perhaps for Year 13 during their free periods. We want to encourage all the pupils to take up instruments, and in Year 7 we have a special scheme to help with this. It's called the Endangered Instruments Scheme. There are a selection of instruments which we feel are rarer or we're in need of, and we offer free lessons for a whole year on these instruments to any pupil in Year 7. It doesn't matter if the pupil already plays a different instrument, they can still access the scheme. Places are limited, so it is a first come, first served basis, but more details can be found again from the music administrator. So now, music scholarships. What is a music scholarship? What can be awarded? Well, there are 2 types of awards, exhibitions and scholarship. An exhibition is a monetary award that pays for the cost of instrumental or vocal tuition. It is equal to the cost of 30 lessons each of 40 minutes duration at the school rate, i.e. 1 year of tuition. Exhibitions can be used for tuition with Forest music teachers or with external music teachers. However, if an external teacher costs more, the school will not pay any more than the exhibition value. Pupils may hold more than 1 exhibition. When an exhibition is awarded, it is given for the entire school career of the pupil. Scholarship is remission from fees. We can award up to a maximum of 25% remission. Some candidates will be offered both scholarship and exhibitions. Some just scholarship and some only exhibitions. So what is required of a music scholar? We ask our music scholars and exhibition holders to participate in at least 2 musical ensembles, although most of them are in many more. All the music scholars are also required to sing in the chapel choir, even if they don't view themselves as singers. The reason for this is that singing is so fundamental to good musicianship that we believe it is in the scholar's best interest to do this. The successful candidates will be the ones who love music and are hard-working. We just want them to keep doing that. By doing so and participating in the musical life of the school, they will be our leading lights, setting an example of enthusiasm, curiosity and dedication to the many other Forest pupils who are musicians but not award holders. There is not a fixed number of places for music scholarship, nor a fixed amount. Rather, I make recommendations after the audition process, for example, offering the strongest candidates 25% remission, but perhaps also offering some candidates 15% remission. If no candidates meet the standard, no offers will be made. If there are many strong candidates, then a panel of senior teachers and governors will decide how to divide up the offers. Scholarship awards can be combined. Many pupils have, for example, both academic and music scholarship. However, the total combined award cannot extend above 25% remission. There are usually about 6 or 7 music scholars per year. These pupils also tend to be offered exhibitions. Additionally, we make quite a few offers that are only for exhibitions. The audition will last between 15 to 25 minutes, depending on how many instruments are offered and at what level. I will schedule an appropriate amount of time according to the information given on the application form. Before the audition, the candidate will be able to warm up and briefly rehearse with the accompanist if required. The school provides an accompanist, but you may also choose to bring your own should you prefer. In the audition, the candidate will perform any accompanied pieces first, then any unaccompanied pieces. They will be given some oral tests and sight reading. We will start these tests at a level that we deem should be fairly straightforward for the candidate, and then increase the level of difficulty, depending on how the candidate reacts to the tests. With the sight reading and oral tests, we are not merely concerned with accuracy, but very much with how the candidate deals with the coaching we give to them. There is a short viva voce where we ask the candidate some questions, and they can also question the panel. At audition, the candidate should play 2 pieces on the principal study and 1 on any other instruments. If they feel they have a joint principal study, they could prepare 2 pieces on each. However, at the audition, we may indicate to the candidate that we will stop them during the performance if the pieces are long. This never means we do not like what we are hearing. It just means we need to keep the auditions moving forward so we stay on schedule. If a piece requires accompaniment, it should be performed with that accompaniment. Backing tracks are often used for drum kit, pop vocals, and that is fine. Backing tracks should be brought on a CD or a device with a mini jack audio port. So what is a principal study? And what if I don't know? The application form asks for first or principal instrument, then also a second and third instrument. The first study will usually be the instrument that the candidate's been learning the longest. There is no necessity to offer more than 1 instrument, although most candidates offer 2. Singing is considered an instrument and of course can be the principal study. If you're unsure which instrument is the principal study, don't worry, just list them in either order. In addition to classical singing, that is, in the choral and historic tradition comprising art, song and opera, we also of course welcome musical theatre and pop or rock style singing. Indeed, we have a dedicated visiting teacher of musical theatre and vocal technique who also teaches pop repertoire. It is possible to receive an exhibition and scholarship for these styles. So what are we looking and listening for? Often people ask me, what grade does my child have to be? Now this is really the wrong question to be asking. Better would be, what musical skills and qualities is Forest looking for? To deal with the thorny issue of grades first, at 16 plus, most of the big offers go to candidates who are already beyond grade 8. At 13 plus, the strongest candidates are usually equivalent to at least grade 7, and even at 11 plus, it is not unusual to find candidates who are already grade 5 or beyond. However, there are no hard and fast rules about what grade is required. What we are looking for is evidence of musicianship and performances that are clearly the outcome of high quality, focused practice. The length of time a candidate has been learning is also an important factor, as is the instrument offered. Some instruments are much harder to play than others. Furthermore, we are looking carefully at how the candidates react to the tests in the audition, especially oral and sight reading tests. it is not necessarily a case of getting these things right first time, but a matter of how the candidate responds to the coaching, questioning, and mistakes that may happen in those tests. If your child doesn't do graded exams, that is absolutely fine. We would simply need an indication of the equivalent level at which they are playing. This can be supplied by their instrumental or vocal teacher. We also request references from these teachers. For candidates who do not take graded exams, we would want to ensure that going forward they were receiving the correct technical guidance as part of a carefully planned programme of study, such as is provided by the various musical examination boards. There are not any instruments that we don't consider. We are open-minded. It's fair to say that our offering of tuition at Forest is mainly based around orchestral and band instruments, but this includes electric guitar and bass, drum kit and vocal studies in classical, musical theatre and rock and pop styles. We have made awards to Hindustani and Carnatic instrumentalists and vocalists, folk musicians, and given awards for composition and songwriting. So what is the best way to prepare for the audition? Listen to the advice of your instrumental and vocal teachers. Play pieces that you know very well and you enjoy playing. Do not try to play anything that's not ready, unprepared, half done, or too difficult. By playing or singing pieces that you know and enjoy, you will be able to show musicality. That means the music will come to life, will be nuanced and expressive. Practice every day, but for a short time and with focus. Use a metronome and set it to a slow tempo to ensure you learn the notes correctly. Don't constantly do run-throughs, but focus on the bits that need work. Be honest when we ask you questions about music and what you are listening to. There are no trick questions in the audition. We just want to find out more about what makes you tick as a musician. Now, what if you don't want to put your son or daughter under too much pressure? What should you do? Well, we take the audition process very seriously and we want to make it as positive and welcoming as possible. We appreciate that the pupils will be nervous and we will do whatever we can to put them at ease and give them encouragement. Ultimately, though, the decision to go for an award must be taken between you and your son or daughter. So what is a pre-audition and how can I arrange one? Ordinarily, during the Michaelmas term, I can meet with prospective candidates and their parents, subject to times being available. However, at the current time, due to the measures in place surrounding COVID-19, such face-to-face meetings will not be possible. Instead, we will certainly contact you if you register your interest in a music scholarship, and it may be possible to find some other way of listening to your son or daughter perform. For more information about this, please contact the registrar or the music administrator, Miss Samantha Roach, using the email music@forest.org.uk. Thank you for listening.